So if you can finish up your conversation, maybe you're still eating, please feel free to go back and have more. A word of celebration. It is really awesome that we do for this event have the compostable plates and the cups and the forks and spoons. We have compostable, both the food and the serving upstairs on the second floor with our cafeteria. But this event, our catering folks were happy to work with us to expand that for this conference so that we would be able to participate in a better practice, I'll say, than the plastic plates. So thank you for being here as we here at Hamline continue to grow and learn into our sustainability. I want to point out our Director of Sustainability is Dr. Valentine Cadieux right here, who's with us, and her students. She has several students with us who are taking a course this summer. The Farm School, what is the name of? Food and Society Workshop. So talk to Valentine. If you're introduce yourself to her, let's get the conversation going. So another super important person to our life here at Hamline University. I believe she's going into her 4th year. Is that right, Fanice? I am so glad. I am so glad. Dr. Fanice Miller, who is with us to bring greeting, and maybe come on up. And Fanice has given us amazing leadership here. Under that, we've been working on a new strategic plan. We've had a new kind of, I don't know what you call a branding campaign called We Take the Lead. And I want to thank you for taking the lead in that. And I would like to welcome Dr. Fanice Miller to bring your greeting to this body. Fanice, I'll say to the side, she actually worships at Hamline Church across the street. So this is really awesome, the connection. So Dr. Miller, thank you for being here.
Thank you. Well, good afternoon. It is an honor for me to be here to welcome you to our extraordinary campus. We are glad that you're here. We're glad that you're bringing your ideas, your visions, your hopes for the future to this campus as you begin to think about next steps and where you go. I cannot say enough about the quality of our faculty and our students here who believe in the kinds of things that you're doing. What you're doing right now and the things that you're discussing is really important. We take a look at what's happened with our Environmental Protection Agency and the way in which it's being systematically dismantled. We take a look at all of the policies and procedures that were put in place to protect the environment, to protect who we are as a nation of people, and we see it being dismantled. I'm not trying to be political, I'm talking about what is. Because we really have to look at what do we leave those generations who are coming behind us. How do we make sure that the world that they live in is a world as it should be, not a world that's been demolished in ways that we will not see recovered for many, many years. So I'm glad you're tackling these hard questions. I'm glad that you're on our campus and doing it. Let me also say that Hamline University sees itself as a university that's part of the community. We connect in very real ways with the various communities that are surrounding us. So not just the Midway community, but the various communities in which we're located. And that's very important to us. One of the things that we do very early on is we send our students out to the community so they see how they can connect to the community. Our first year students, Nancy, Chaplain Nancy, that comes from her office, they go out and they look at opportunities that exist for them to be involved in the community. So we really see ourselves in that kind of way. And that's, I mean, if you go back to our early existence, that's who we are. So it's a thrill that you're here. I do want to just put in a plug for those of you who are part of universities and colleges. I just came back from NASCM. NASCM is the National Association of Colleges and Universities affiliated with the United Methodist Church. There are about 119 institutions that are affiliated with this organization that fall under that United Methodist umbrella. The number of institutions there, number of presidents who were there, was woefully inadequate. And if you look at some of the policies and procedures and issues that the church is tackling that will have implications for higher education, those of you who are at these institutions, you need to tell your presidents they need to pay attention. They need to pay attention. They need to get involved, because otherwise the train is going to leave the station and we're going to be running behind the train and we'll not catch up. So I'm really concerned about who we are, what we do, and where we're going, and the role that we're going to play. I'm also concerned about the fact that we have not been as intentional as we should be and need to be in regard to our young people in higher education. We need to take a look at our young people and the values that are espoused by the church and encourage them to become involved in these institutions that espouse the same values and principles. So I say all of this because these are things that I think we need. We can't push it under the rug and hope it goes away and hope someone else will take up these issues. I'm going to say to you, it's up to you to help us. It's up to you to make sure that the vitality of higher education institutions and the relationship between the church and higher education remains, and that it remains strong. It's up to you to help us get that message out. We know we're more than United Methodist. We know that. But when I think about the values of Hamline University, and I think about the values of the Methodist tradition, academic excellence, inclusiveness, civil engagement, all of these things are things that we believe in as well. So how do we come together to make sure we realize what we value and what we espouse? So I'm glad you're here. I've heard about the wonderful pizza that that Valentine and her students are putting together. You're in for a treat. I've tried to really let them know that how much I need them because I have no food at the house. So, and I think they heard me, so they're going to feed me. So I'm so excited, but welcome to our campus. Do take advantage of all that we have to offer. And if there's something you think we should be doing that we're not doing, tell the chaplain. Yeah, we as you can tell, we're blessed to have a really extraordinary chaplain here. And I cannot say enough about the relationship that we have. It is a very strong relationship, not only a good working relationship, but also a good personal relationship. So we're very honored and thrilled that she's a part of this community. So I thank you, Kathy. I thank you. I thank all of the organizers for being a part of this. So welcome to our campus.
So I'm Kathy Velasquez Eberhardt, one of the people who've been emailing you and sending you things over the last few weeks and months. Here we are, and we're about to really get started officially. But before that, just a couple of words of gratitude, I guess. It's hard to believe it was over a year ago when a number of us were on a bus on our way back from Washington, D.C. after the climate march, and very sleep-deprived, a number of us dreamed up this crazy conference, and here you all are. This is amazing. So, but it wasn't, there's such a number of people that have participated in making that dream come about that I just wanted to have us see some of that, how that looked. So, Susan, why don't you come up, and Hope and Nancy, of course, have been just kind of this core planning team that have not know so much. I think we just went to more meetings and more emails than the rest of you. But other than that, we don't get any other credit. Anybody who was on a conference call, one of our mini conference calls, please stand up. Well, just wait. Yeah, just wait. I've got everybody covered. If you were on a conference call, one of many conference calls, please stand up. Stay standing. If you attended any of our face-to-face local meetings, we have a fabulous local team with the Hennepin Church and so forth. Stand up, please. Anybody, Hamlin Church, and what did I say? Oh, sorry. There's someone here from Hennepin too. If you attended any of our face-to-face meetings, please, there are a number of you. Yeah, sure. And then if you're one of the Minnesota Earth Keepers, you've been helping at some of those activities and so forth. If any of you got an email from us and you read it, would you stand up, please? I mean, really. Or if you visited the website, or you read our social media, or shared it with someone. I mean, short, all of you were brave enough to come to a different kind of conference. You weren't really sure what it was. And we're going to ask you to go to work. And I'm going to have Susan talk about that in just a moment. But in short, everything we're doing today is kind of a tool that you can bring back, including the idea of organizing within an institution. So just think of everything that you're doing as something that you could take back as another tool. And welcome. So excited to see you all here.
Kathy's a great organizer, and I'm truly grateful that she has been at the head of this, really, honestly. And I couldn't have done it without her, and I'm just thrilled. Glad to see you all here. Basically, when we decided to take this on, we thought we didn't want to do a conference like all the other conferences we've been to. Not that there's anything wrong with those conferences. They are wonderful. But we wanted to try something a little bit different. And basically, what we are doing is assuming, and I think this is correct, all of us in the room are the leaders of the creation care movement in the United Methodist Church. We're here. There are others who could not make it today, but everyone who is in here is one of those leaders. And we wanted to facilitate more of a conversation amongst ourselves, and maybe some strategic thinking amongst ourselves. How do we shift the institution that is the United Methodist Church? How can we be part of that? Rather than having experts come in and talk to us about information that might be helpful to us. Now, there will be some workshops and field trips where you can get information on Saturday, but the bulk of our work this afternoon and tomorrow is work that we do together, and we will get as much out of it as we put into it. So I invite you to roll up your sleeves and really feel like you are a participant, because every piece of this, there's something that you can do to participate in it, including, you will see in our panel discussion, there is a way for people to participate who aren't on the panel. So be ready for that. Tomorrow, a lot of the day will be facilitated conversations. We'll start in the morning with some big ideas that some of you have agreed to present to us, and then we'll move from that into facilitated conversation that maybe those big ideas get something stirring in our minds, or maybe we came with questions that are burning for us. So again, a way for you to participate. And I think Chris, you'll find that Chris does worship that way as well. It's participatory worship. Chris is sitting back there. She's awesome. So if you'd like to participate, there's sign up out by the workshop sign up, or you can talk to Chris. We'd love to have you participate in worship as well. And I'm going to pass it on to Hope. If you've read the website, gone to the website, it's because of Hope that we have a website.
Yes, I learned website design just for this event. So, as Susan mentioned, not everyone who wanted to be here is here. So we're doing our best to share this on social media as best we can. So myself and Dave are on Twitter and Instagram. So this event has a Twitter and an Instagram. The handle on both is @UMCreationCare. So mention us, tag us, follow us, share things. We're going to do our best to include as many people as we can in this conversation. And also, we do have a lot of awesome workshops and field trips and things going on Saturday. Some of you may have signed up for things online, and that's great. Thank you for people who did that. We also would like you to come and confirm some of those signups in person. If you are in this room and you're planning on being here on Saturday and you have not done that, do not come see me right now. There is a break time this afternoon. Please come see me then, and I will be out on those tables that are right outside that door, right by the worship sign up. You can do both of them at the same time. So please come see me then. And then, yes.
What you reminded me of is that we are also have the gift of having this event filmed. Will Victor and Vangerud may recognize the relationship there. A media arts student here at Hamlin, a senior, and it was graciously agreed to help us capture this event so that it can be shared widely as well. So if my understanding is that when you registered, you said it was okay to be filmed. So if you have any concerns or questions about that, please let us know. But we do officially have you down, if you registered for this event, as being signed up. Oh, so if you have something in particular you'd like captured, he is happy to just, if you have a statement that you want to make. Oh, great. Already have questions to interview. And Beth?
Yes, that's the hashtag we're using right now. If anyone else has ideas for great hashtags, go find Dave and tell him. Creation Care, it should be. Yes. That's how handles and hashtags work.
Sorry, I need to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
There is a hashtag as well. So the handle is
Oh.
@ the hashtag is hashtag. Both of them exist.
While we're talking about tech, if you haven't yet seen, there's a Wi-Fi password at the registration desk. So if you need it, go on out there and get it. And I think that's all of our administrative prelude to the real thing really getting kicked off here. I know, that's why I'm passing it to Nancy, because that's who's going to, you're right.
So I invite you to take a couple of deep breaths because we are shifting. I don't know if you'd call it ordinary time, but we're shifting from one kind of time into a very special other kind of time, and a even more so sacred time. And it is my privilege to introduce our two leaders. Do you all want to come up? Bob, you just got back, didn't you? Yeah. At Sundance, yeah. So I would like to formally introduce to you two people who have been visionaries, teachers, mentors, leaders, and humble servants of the Spirit of life and of God. And I'm going to start with Bob Clanderud first. So, Robert Bob Clanderud of Dakota and Lakota heritage is enrolled with the Rosebud Sioux tribe in South Dakota. Bob volunteers with Healing Minnesota Stories, a project that works toward understanding and healing between Native American and non-Native people. As part of that work, he helps lead sacred sites tours of Bdote, the place where Wakpatanka, the Mississippi River, and Minnesota Wakpa, the Minnesota River, where Wakpatanka, Wakpatanka, which is Mississippi River, I think I said the wrong one, but Mississippi River, and Minnesota Wakpa, the Minnesota River, come together at Bdote. Central to Dakota origin stories, as we will be hearing, Bdote is the center of the earth and the place where the Dakota people trace their beginning. Bob served for 8 years with the Division of Indian Work as a caseworker in the Fathers Program. Also, he has served with the Strengthening Family Circles Program and the Mentorship Program for Incarcerated Men. He also served for 8 years in the chaplaincy program of the Department of Corrections for Hennepin, Stearns, Steele, and Anoka counties. Bob is committed to following traditional Native ways, including being a pipe carrier, participating in Sundance, and hosting traditional Native sweat ceremonies. And again, a thank you for being willing to come here during the special time of the Sundance. Reverend Jim Bear Jacobs was born in 1977 in St. Paul, Minnesota. He's a member of the Stockbridge Munsee Mohican Nation, whose homeland is located in central Wisconsin. He has degrees in pastoral studies and Christian theology and has served various churches as a youth minister, adult Christian educator, pastor, and director of men's ministries. He is a cultural facilitator in the Twin Cities and works to raise the public's awareness of American Indian causes and injustices. He is the founder of Healing Minnesota Stories, an initiative to create dialogue, understanding, and healing between Native and non-Native people, particularly in the context of faith communities. Some good news recently is that Healing Minnesota Stories recently became a program of the Minnesota Council of Churches, right, Jim Bear? And so your new title will be?
Director of Community Engagement and Racial Justice.
Which is great. So HMS is going there, and that will enable Jim Bear's leadership to expand in larger and larger circles, certainly across Minnesota, but beyond as well. But you know what? 2 years ago, you preached at Foundry in Washington. Was that last summer? Okay. Someone's saying, like, yeah. Did you hear that sermon? Well, yes. So that was part of their special preacher series. Yeah?
It was exceptional. Or what was it? It was some lofty, like, amazing. It was something like that. A title which I don't deserve.
I think you do. So that's really good news about HMS becoming now part of Minnesota Council of Churches. So these two outstanding, exceptional, amazing, deeply humble men are teachers, mentors, visionaries, healers, fathers, and of many of us, friends, who have inspired and influenced so many people. And I'm so glad that you are here today. Bill, we have, and is Sarah Jane here as well with? So we have, is Sarah Jane here? Is Sarah Jane here? She's supposed to come up and help. Great. Come on, Sarah Jane. We have some special gifts that we would like to give to you. You want to, first one, let me get these. All right, let's see. Yeah, okay, you know what. So the first gift is some to clothe those awesome people that you are, some Hamlin swag. Which one is that? Bob, and this is for Jim Bear. It gets a little cold in Minnesota, so we thought you might enjoy keeping warm. And then we have some other gifts. Maybe Sarah Jane, would you like to say what these are? From the bounty of the land.
From Northeast United Methodist Church. We've been blessed by our God's Garden that we have, and we've done some production, and we're just sharing some of our gifts with you. So thank you for sharing your gifts.
So let's have a hand of thank you. So maybe we could put those down, and then I'll be happy to help with that. Do you want the mic, either of you, or? Where's Chris? Chris, you're helping us move in more and more into this special time. Reverend Chris Cleason-Weirman is the organizer and leader of our worship, and she's going to take this away now. All right.
No, not in a moment. When we come back in, so as we follow outside, you might want to take your booklets with you, because when we come back, we will be singing together a simple walking song, and the words for it are in that book. I think you could learn it, but if you'd like to be able to look at it, you'll find it on page 10. It's called Directions. So if you want to take your books with you for that simple song, please do so as we follow.
Ha'oyate wopida Hampetikile. I said, hello, people. It's a good day, and thank you for being here. After all that introduction, which was so wonderful, I've never stood in front of people to have that sort of thing read. I'm honored and pleased to be here. My Indian name is Akisha Hokawichasha, and I had come from a ceremony we're performing out west in Rosebud, South Dakota, the Sundance ceremony. So I mentioned that I wouldn't be in a particularly jumping up and down frame of mind, but I did think it was very important to take the time to come and be with you. And I just wanted to say that wherever you came from, I deeply appreciate your commitment and to being here, taking time out of your life because of your care and concern for the issues at hand. And everybody I've met in the United Methodist has been a quality, wonderful person with some kind of moral sense of direction. And so I'm looking very hopeful for what you're going to do. I didn't know precisely what we were being called in to hand to you, although I'm familiar with what the need is. So I just felt the need to use my voice to say, I'm honored to stand with you in whatever we endeavor to do. I'm not a holy man or medicine man. I'm a common man, Ikchewi Chasha. But I did want to say that I'm here by virtue of grace, the Holy Spirit, and we're going to do this together. So in saying that, you know, you all have this healing and this wonderful spiritual insight to offer. And coming from a place where we come together in this way, from all over the points of the globe, as healers, as people of faith, to put aside our egos and differences. You don't need to know what's going to happen. I don't. We just open ourselves, and by proximity, put our hearts together, our mind, body, and spirits, and we join in this medicine way of prayer. And I wanted to say that much, so thank you.
So as we begin to move outside, and I know you were told to follow us, we don't exactly know where we're going, so we will find someone else to follow. But we will be offering smudge with sage. It's a cleansing and purifying ritual. If any of you might have sensitivities to smoke, you are not, or if you have sensitivities to smoke, you're not obligated to participate. We'll just kind of form a line, and if this many of you try to move quickly through the line to, you can come forward and receive smudge. Please don't feel bad like you're offending us if you choose not to participate for whatever reason. We would rather have you follow your own body and spirit. But this is how we enter in and set these times of significance and holiness, sacredness. We will then offer a song to sort of center us. It is a direction song. It is, we will be moving throughout the song, turning our bodies to face different directions. All you have to do is follow our lead and face the direction we're facing. And yeah, so I think